Every year in America, floods destroy more homes than any other natural disaster. Yet, a staggering 9 out of 10 homeowners don't have flood insurance. Not because they don't care, but because they think their standard policy already covers them. It doesn't. And when the water rises, so does a devastating truth. America's most common disaster is also its most uninsured. This is the billion-dollar flood insurance gap, and it could wash away your life savings long before the water even touches your doorstep. Ask most homeowners if they're protected against floods, and they'll probably say yes. But the reality is hidden in the fine print. Your standard home insurance policy almost never covers flood damage. That requires a separate policy, usually from the National Flood Insurance Program, or NFIP. Here's the scary part. While the U.S. has over 80 million homes, only about 5 million flood policies exist. That's not even 10%. So, every time a storm hits, billions of dollars in damage are left to uninsured families and taxpayers to handle. Think it won't be that bad? The Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, estimates that just 1 inch of floodwater can cause over $25,000 in damage. So why don't more people buy it? Simple. They believe they don't need it. Many rely on FEMA's flood maps, but these maps are often decades old. The climate has changed dramatically since they were drawn. Neighborhoods once considered safe are now getting drenched every spring. In fact, research shows over 40% of all flood damage now happens outside of designated high-risk zones. You don't need to live by a river. You just need rain that won't stop. The system designed to protect us is also broken. The National Flood Insurance Program was created in 1968, but today it's billions of dollars in debt. Rising claims, outdated maps, and rate caps mean the program can't charge enough to stay afloat. After major hurricanes, the NFIP had to borrow from the U.S. Treasury just to pay claims. And private insurers? They're even more terrified of floods. It's a market where the risk is certain, but the profit is not. Flooding is no longer just a seasonal event. It's a permanent threat somewhere in America. More than 15 million homes currently face some level of flood risk. Rising sea levels threaten the coasts, while flash floods hammer the Midwest. Insurance companies call this unmodelable risk. They can't predict it accurately, so they either price it sky high or walk away entirely. This is why even homeowners who are covered are seeing their rates jump by 20 or 30% each year. But behind every statistic is a family trying to start over. Parents sleeping in cars outside their ruined homes. Children doing homework under streetlights because the power is out. They paid for home insurance their whole lives, but it was the wrong kind. When the financial help doesn't arrive, the American dream floats away with the floodwater. That's the real flood insurance gap. It's not just a policy problem, it's a human one. Thankfully, there's a glimmer of hope. A new wave of private insurers is trying to close this gap. Using AI-driven flood maps and satellite data, they can price risk street by street, not just by zip code. Some offer custom policies for as little as $200 a year in moderate-risk areas. That's half the cost of an NFIP policy. It's still a small market, but it's growing fast. If this technology succeeds, affordable and accurate flood insurance might finally become a reality. So, if you own a home, don't wait for FEMA to redraw the map. Go to Flood Factor.com or the FEMA Flood Map Service Center and check your address right now. Ask your insurance agent for a quote on both an NFIP and a private policy, even if you're not in a high-risk zone. And start creating a digital inventory of your home, photos, receipts, and valuations, because when the water rises, paperwork is the first thing to disappear. Floods don't care about maps, income levels, or zip codes. They just come. And when they do, they reveal how fragile our financial security really is. The water will recede, and the damage will fade. But the lesson is clear. In America, the biggest flood is the one we never saw coming. If this video opened your eyes to the flood insurance crisis, Subscribe for more content where we uncover the truth behind the policies that promise to protect you. Thanks for watching.